Picture this. It's 9 a.m. at a major tech conference. Sarah, a product manager from Mumbai, is frantically searching through a crumpled paper agenda, trying to find the AI workshop she registered for 3 weeks ago. The room number changed overnight, but she has no idea. Meanwhile, across the hall, David gets a gentle ping on his phone. AI workshop move to Hall C starts in 10 minutes. Tap here for directions. One person is stressed, lost, and already thinking about leaving early. The other is calmly walking to the right room, checking out speaker bios, and maybe even booking a coffee chat with someone interesting. What's the difference? A mobile event app. Welcome back to the Eventify podcast, where we turn event planning nightmares into attendee dream experiences. I am your host, Kevin Rosenquist, and today we're diving deep into why event apps aren't just convenient anymore. They're absolutely crucial for attendee engagement. Because here's the thing, 67% of attendees now expect events to have a mobile app. Not hope for it, expect it. And when expectations aren't met, well, let's just say your NPS scores won't be pretty. Let's talk numbers for a second. Nearly 40% of event organizers have already jumped on the app bandwagon, and they're not looking back. Why? Because the alternative is what I like to call paper chaos syndrome. You know the drill. Printed schedules that become obsolete the moment someone sneezes near the agenda, attendees playing hide and seek with exhibition booths, and networking that basically amounts to awkward elevator conversations and whoever happens to sit next to you at lunch. But here's where things get interesting. Having an app isn't enough anymore. 79% of event organizers say their app needs to be actually easy to use. Because what's the point of building a Ferrari if it requires a PhD to start the engine? The truth is, most event apps today are either too complicated, too boring, or too, useless. They're digital versions of paper programs when they should be command centers for incredible experiences. And that's where the magic happens, when your app becomes the attendee's best friend instead of another thing they just ignore. So what separates the apps people love from the ones they delete after 5 minutes? Let me break this down into what I call the 3 pillars of app success. Pillar 1, seamless onboarding. Your app should get people from download to, wow, this is helpful, in under 3 taps. QR code check-ins, instant badge printing, self-service kiosks, basically anything that makes standing in lines feel like a relic from the Stone Age. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to fill out long forms just to see when the coffee break is. Pillar 2, real-time intelligence. This is where most apps fail spectacularly. The app should be your attendee's crystal ball. Schedule changes pushed instantly, session reminders that actually help, and here's the kicker, AI-powered networking suggestions. Imagine an app that doesn't just show you who's at the event, but actually suggests who you should meet based on your interests, industry, and goals. That's not science fiction. That's Tuesday afternoon with the right technology. Pillar 3, engagement that doesn't suck. Live polls that presenters actually use. Q&A sessions that don't require running to a microphone. Gamification that feels fun, not forced. And social feeds where people actually want to participate because the conversations are meaningful, not just promotional noise. When these 3 pillars work together, something beautiful happens. Your app becomes indispensable instead of ignorable. Now let's talk about those people writing the checks, your sponsors and exhibitors. Because while attendees want convenience, sponsors want one thing, ROI. And a smart event app is basically an ROI generating machine. Think about it. Traditional sponsorship is basically expensive wallpaper, logos on banners that people walk past without thinking about. But digital sponsorships, that's targeted, trackable, and actually engaging. With the right app, sponsors can showcase products with interactive displays, capture leads with simple QR scans, and get real-time analytics on who's engaging with their content. Instead of hoping someone remembers your business card buried in their pocket, you get their contact details instantly, accurately, and with their permission. And here's the part that makes sponsors smile. Real-time branding updates. Product launch on day 2? Update the app instantly. New partnership announcement? Push it to every attendee's phone. It's like having a personal billboard that adapts faster than social media trends. For exhibitors, apps solve the age-old problem of booth traffic. Interactive floor maps don't just show where you are, they guide attendees to specific booths, highlighting special offers, and even let people bookmark exhibitors they want to visit. No more hoping people stumble across your booth accidentally. Let me tell you about the most expensive mistake event organizers make. Building an app that nobody uses. I've seen it happen. Organizers spend months perfecting their content, thousands on their app development, and then Crickets. Downloads are low, engagement is lower, and everyone goes back to asking, what time is lunch, every 5 minutes. The problem usually falls into one of three categories. The first, the complexity trap. Apps that require a manual just to find the schedule. If your app needs a tutorial, it's already too complicated. Remember, people are at your event to learn about your content, not to learn how to use your app. Second, we have the feature bloat. When you try to stuff every possible feature into one app, you end up with a Swiss Army knife that's bad at everything. Focus on doing a few things exceptionally well rather than many things poorly. Third is the set it and forget it syndrome. Building the app is just the beginning. If you're not actively promoting it, updating content, and engaging with users, it becomes digital decoration. But here's the fix. Start with your user experience, not the features. Ask yourself, what would make an attendee's day significantly better? Then build on that. Everything else is just nice to have. This is exactly why we built Eventify the way we did. We looked at all these problems and said, what if an event app actually made life easier for everyone involved? For attendees, one-tap registration, AI-powered networking that actually suggests relevant connections, personalized agendas that sync across devices, and gamification that feels like fun, not homework. When someone opens your app, they're not just checking a schedule, they're discovering opportunities. And for organizers, centralized control without the chaos. Push notifications that reach everyone instantly, analytics that actually tell you what's working, and automated processes that eliminate the "did everyone get that message?" panic moments. Plus, our concierge support means you're never troubleshooting tech issues when you should be focusing on your event. And hey, let's not forget about our sponsors and exhibitors. Digital product showcases that update in real time, lead scanning that captures accurate data instantly, and analytics dashboards that show actual engagement metrics. No more guessing whether your sponsorship worked, you get concrete data. But here is what really sets us apart: offline capabilities. Because we know that Wi-Fi at events can be, let's call it, temperamental. Your attendees can still access key features even when the internet decides to take a coffee break. And the best part, it's all white label and fully customizable. Your brand, your colors, your voice, not ours. Let me leave you with this thought. Events aren't just about filling seats anymore. They're about creating experiences that people remember, connections that matter, and outcomes that justify the investment. The companies getting this right aren't just using apps. They're using apps strategically. They're thinking about the attendee journey from registration to post-event follow-up. They're considering the sponsor experience from booth selection to lead nurturing. And they're measuring success not just by attendance numbers, but by engagement depth. Because here's what we've learned after working with hundreds of event organizers. The events people talk about, the ones they return to year after year, aren't necessarily the ones with the biggest budgets or the fanciest venues. They're the ones that made everything feel effortless. When your attendees can focus on learning, networking, and experiencing your content instead of wrestling with logistics, that's when the magic happens. That's when a conference becomes a catalyst, a trade show becomes a relationship hub, and your event becomes the one people mark on their calendars before you even announce the dates. The question isn't whether you need an event app, it's whether you're ready to stop settling for good enough and start delivering unforgettable. If you're curious about what Eventify can do for your next event, head over to eventify.io for a free demo. See how our platform can transform your event from a collection of sessions into an integrated experience that attendees, sponsors, and exhibitors will actually want to return to. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for tuning into the Eventify podcast. Until next time, here's to creating events that don't just happen, they resonate.